I'm Kennedy. I'm here at the Veda Institute, about to get my hair done by Mo. Super excited because it's time for some of this to go.
I met Kennedy in 2016 in New York City when I was attending a Veda Institute for cosmetology school. We connected on Instagram and she told me she wanted a drastic change haircut, and it just so happened I needed a model for a campaign with Essence and Aveda, so the timing was perfect. After that, we became friends, and I am the only person she will let in her hair. So for the last 9 years, I have done her hair more times than I can count. And in 2019, when I moved to Atlanta, she relocated back here around the same time. After not having a salon for the last 6 years, I am back behind the chair in a very limited capacity. It's been a while since y'all have seen her on my channel, so here we are. Kennedy has been intentionally trying to retain length to have longer hair, and in this tutorial, I am going to give her my signature salon service, very reminiscent of our first encounter 9 years ago. To begin, I am going to detox her scalp with the Scalp Clarifier. This formula is made to remove buildup, gently exfoliate, and balance pH for healthier hair growth. It's packed with salicylic acid to minimize dandruff and reduce itchiness, sea kelp to increase circulation, and Indian winter cherry, an anti-inflammatory root that reduces hair loss and damage. After massaging this through for a few minutes, I'm going to rinse it out and allow that clarifier to run through her strands to remove buildup. Next, I am going to shampoo with the Ultimate Hydrator. I named it this because it's literally the ultimate way to install moisture into your strands. Proper cleansing sets the foundation for healthy hair and moisture retention. This formula has vitamin-packed carrot seed oil, hydrolyzed wheat protein to strengthen, and marshmallow root to improve elasticity. I also created this formula to help start that detangling process while smoothing the strands. After massaging this from roots to ends for a few minutes, I'm going to rinse out and move on to deep conditioning with Micro Mist Steam. The elasticity restoring treatment is my #1 bestseller for a reason. It works. I made it to address the most pressing, common concern for all hair types: breakage. With consistent weekly use, more length is retained because your strands will break less because they're able to hold more moisture longer and are stronger from the inside out. This formula has a very special mix of butters, botanicals, oils, and protein to give your hair everything it needs to be healthy. The hydrolyzed quinoa in this treatment is the only protein with all 9 amino acids in the chain, allowing it to strengthen the hair shaft while also hydrating. The mongongo oil is a fatty acid that forms a protective barrier on the strands to prevent moisture loss, and the mango seed butter restores elasticity. After smoothing the treatment through, I am detangling with the FHI Heat Unbrush and will allow the steam to really melt this into the hair, making it smooth and silky. I used to use a standing steamer for this part of the service when I had my Manhattan salon, but I think this is much more spa-like because you just get to lay back and relax without having water running down your face. After about 10 minutes, I'm rinsing this out, and now I will take a look in Kennedy's scalp. This is a trispectral scope that allows me to examine the scalp, follicles, and strands to assess the overall health. Kennedy's scalp is clear, no micro tears, no inflammation, no clogged follicles. I don't see any cuticle damage either, so aside from needing a haircut to get rid of the split ends, she's in good shape. Kennedy asked for a silk press, and generally she just prefers me to cut her hair when it's straight, so I am prepping for her blow dry with my new thermal serum that will be coming your way soon. I am so excited about this product because I formulated it to be a multi-benefit product, meaning you can do more than one thing with it. It can be used for blowouts and silk presses up to 450 degrees of direct heat, but you can also use it underneath curly styling products as a treatment for anti-humidity protection. I made it extra conditioning so that you won't get that dried out feeling that can happen sometimes with some heat protectants that are on the market. It's truly made to protect your hair no matter how often or how little you engage thermal styling. I always section the hair, fully detangle, and bantu knot in sections to keep the blow dry organized and keep the ends damp. You don't want the hair to dry before you get to it, and you definitely don't want to have to spray misting water because you'll get the sections that are already blow dried wet again. This also makes the blow dry go faster. I don't turn the dryer off or put it down until I'm done. I like to stretch the hair with my hand a bit first, guiding some of the water out with the dryer's concentrator nozzle, and then use a brush. In this case, I am using a Framar bristle brush with pins to smooth with tension and reduce the frizz. I have a full video about blow drying, all the tips you need, all the types of brushes and what they do that I will link you to below this video. At this point in the service, I am going to let Kennedy grab herself a little treat, and then I am going to silk her hair out with my FHI Heat platform ceramic iron on 400 degrees in just one pass. What I love most about these irons is the smooth coating on the plates that doesn't catch in the hair, and I don't have to worry about heat damage. These ceramic irons are much healthier options for curly hair because they stabilize the temperature and evenly distribute the heat flow so it won't pass too much into the strands like titanium irons can do. Kennedy wears her hair curly 99% of the time, so I care about protecting her curls. I was joking with Kennedy about how she got me having to squat down to get to the ends of her hair with all this length she's retaining. But seriously, she has come a long way since her last cut. Now, she did go way longer than I would have liked, and I definitely harassed her often about letting me get at those ends, so she is prepared for me to cut whatever needs to go. I like to switch over to a white cape so the client can see in 4K all the split ends, so we ain't gotta go back and forth about what's about to happen, okay? Because I know how some of y'all like to tussle about haircuts. Kennedy wants her hair to be as close to one length as possible, so I am just squaring the perimeter so when it's curly, it doesn't shrink into a mullet in the back, and then I'm just going to do some slight graduated face framing layers to blend the pieces in the front that are a bit shorter. Considering it has been over a year, I know, she knows too, I didn't have to cut that much. I believe this is a testament not only to her taking good care of her hair, but also not wearing a lot of high manipulation or long-term styles like braids and other extensions. Just washing and deep conditioning weekly and leaving your hair alone is so beneficial to retaining length and having less frizz and damage overall. Now, that's not to say you can't engage those things, but you definitely need to keep it to a minimum if your goal is retention. After finishing her cut and letting her have another look to see where we are, I am going to finish her with some loose curls just to soften the flow of her silk press. I am using my T3 Micro ceramic 1.5-inch iron and doing some simple barrel curls, clipping them to cool, otherwise known as a hard set. I like to use a little hairspray to help hold the hair, and this one from Agadir Argan Oil does so beautifully. It's flexible, thermal safe, humidity resistant, and it doesn't get sticky in the hair, which I love. After all the curls are in, I am going to release them, comb it out, and add a little Mizani HD Shine to finish, and that's it. Kennedy is one of the sweetest, most pure-spirited people I know, and while she constantly tells me how much she appreciates me, I hope she knows how blessed I feel to have her in my life. Even though our ages are definitely giving auntie niece vibes, there's a lot to learn from how she carries herself through life's experiences, and her growth is just so beautiful to witness. If you haven't already, make sure you give Kennedy a follow on Instagram and check out her YouTube channel. You can find salon information and links to everything I used in the About section below this video. One more time, you can find everything in the About section below this video or by visiting MoKnowsHair.com.